Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you all coming in the morning. It's a big welcome to APNIC 56 in Kyoto here. My name is Sunny Chendi from the Secretariat. I manage the APNIC conference program and various other things as well. As we go through the presentation, you'll see what we do. This session is for the newcomers, the first-time attendees of APNIC conference, so we can go through a few set of slides and information and let you feel comfortable in attending all the sessions here, as well as make some connections while you're here, and also go through this program as well to see what's we got for next 3 days. And I have a few of my colleagues that will be talking about APNIC and what we do. And what's the policy SIG. You may have seen on the program that we have some proposals going to be discussing here at the APNIC conference. So we will run through all those things so you get more comfortable in attending all the sessions and also feel comfortable in talking to each other as well. We may have some prizes as well. We have a Kahoot game towards the end of the session. If you participate and you win, you come to the first place, second or third place, you win a prize as well. So pay attention to the speakers, what they're talking about, because the questions in Kahoot are mostly related to what they speak in their slides. Okay. And also what you observe here in the venue and what you observe on the program page as well. And whatever you know before you came here, whatever you know about APNIC, or you have probably visited APNIC website and saw some information on the APNIC website. So all those are in that Kahoot game. So if I have my slides up, which I don't yet. And do I have a clicker? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so we will go through, I can see here. Introductions, obviously we don't have time to introduce everyone in the room here, but we will just take a couple of minutes. If you could just stand up and introduce the one on your right and then one on your left. If you're towards the end of the table, please just introduce the one next to you. So we'll just spend a couple of minutes on that one. And then my colleague Carla, our services director, will talk about APNIC, what we do and what services we provide, etc. I'll quickly go through the conference program, but the conference program is online, it's published, and we keep updating it every day, every session. You can have a look at on the program, but I'll just quickly run through some of the important sessions. And then connecting and networking, Sienna will talk about that. That's a very important part of being here in Kyoto, especially this conference at 30th anniversary of APNIC. So it's quite important for us as well. We also need to connect with you. And we go through the policy development process, quickly run through that, how it works in APNIC region. You may have experience in other regions, other area regions or other venue organizations, but ours is a bit different. And then I'll invite our fellow mentor Ninja to come up and give some tips of slaying a conference. I don't know what it's about, but she'll talk about those. And then we take some Q&A and play the Kahoot game. So that's a rundown. So first up, Carla, my colleague from Services Director. It's up to you. I feel more comfortable being here. Oh, it's totally up to you.
I think I'm gonna.
There's one there.
Oh, go. Go. I'm coming up here because then at least I can hide behind something so you can't actually see that my knees are shaking, but no, not really. So it is my great pleasure to tell you a little bit more about APNIC and to also welcome you here to this conference, the 30th anniversary. It's quite something, isn't it? So it's wonderful that you're here to be part of this big celebration that we are all very excited about. So I'm going to talk a little bit about APNIC. I am the services director, and as Sunny said, and I've been at APNIC for just about 3 years now, so I feel a little bit like a newcomer myself. But really, I think the thing that we want to share with you is that we are a big community, and that's probably the most important thing about APNIC as an organization. So Sienna will tell you a little bit more about the opportunities that brings later on today. So what is APNIC? Well, essentially, we are a member-based organization. I think most of you already know that. I'm not going to read the slides to you because I think you can all read really well. But there is a broad spectrum of services that we offer. We're not just a registry, although that's the core of what we do. As it says there, we help to build essential technical support skills. I think most people know about the training as well. That's a very important part of what we do. So we really try to be very much part of the ecosystem. So we service 56 economies. At the moment, we are very close to that 10,000 member mark, direct members for APNIC, which is also another milestone that we're looking forward to celebrating, together with our partners, the NIRs that exist in the various different regions that are also very important to our ecosystem and part of our community and part of the APNIC family. We have another 14,000 members that are basically part of the NIR system as well. So it's a very large community that you are now part of. APNIC is part of a global RIR system. We have 5 different RIRs that exist in the various different regions. We all work very closely together from just a collaboration perspective to try and make sure that we align on a lot of technical issues, and also we try to make sure that we have the same vision. We all have the vision for a global, open, stable, and secure internet, and so that's the thing that drives all of us, and that's the thing that keeps us aligned. But we all exist in those different regions. So a little bit more now about what APNIC does. As I said earlier, the registry is really the core of APNIC. So we delegate IP addresses. I think most of you already know this, and also maintain the public WHOIS database. So everything that is essential to the registry services or registry service, everything that has to do with security and securing those resources is something that we are very passionate about. And then obviously, again, the open policy development, which again, Sunny mentioned briefly, and you'll hear more about later, is also a very important part of what what we do in the registry. We don't make decisions about how IP addresses are delegated. That's your responsibility. So as part of this community, that is something that we really appreciate your involvement, and we really would like you to become part of this community. Development is probably the other very important value stream that we focus on quite strongly. It is very much the heartbeat of APNIC. So while the registry is the core, this is really the heartbeat of why we do what we do. So we do a lot of technical training, but we also provide a lot of advice and technical assistance. We are very interested in any kind of knowledge development or community development projects that you may be considering, and we host major conferences like this particular one that you're at today twice a year, and also participate in a number of different network operator group meetings and other conferences from our fellow RIRs. So there's a broad spectrum of opportunities for us to interact and for you to interact with us. On the information systems, so we publish a community-driven blog. Again, if you haven't actually read some of the blog articles yet, please familiarize yourself with it. It is just a mine of very useful information, and it's authored by people in the community just like you. So we would really appreciate your participation in the blog. We also have a lot of network information tools, and I'm just looking around the room to see if Raf is with us, but I don't think he is. So there is more information about this in the products and services session that's coming up tomorrow if you'd like to learn more about these products. We also do a lot of research, so that we support a lot of educational institutions and a lot of research into the resource delegation, how they're used globally. So membership. Now, this is very close to my heart because this is at the point at which the registry interacts with you, our members, and parts of the community. So we provide all the help and support that you would hopefully be able to need. So our team is available to help you. We do have a 24/7 help desk for emergencies, but otherwise we operate over quite a large, we do have a 12-hour support available online. So so the idea behind what we do there is to provide you with the best quality support, but also to be transparent about the actions that we're taking within the community. Capability. We have nearly 130 people in the organization. I think we have, and I'm just going to look at Sunny here, or maybe Sienna. I think we've got about 36 different countries represented in our staff in many different languages. So if you feel more comfortable reaching out to us in your own language, then there is a strong possibility that we have someone on staff that would be happy to help you. So that we also support the Executive Council with the decisions that they need to make to keep us relevant in the global scale. That is pretty much it, Sunny. I think I've crossed my deadline. So Sunny's going to take you a little bit more through the conference program, but please feel free to reach out and connect with us at any stage, and welcome.
Thank you, Carla, for going through what we do. Any questions on that? What APNIC does and what services we provide? I'll speak from here as well. Okay, let's quickly go through the conference program. As I said, it's published. You can all access it through your app or mobile phone or laptop. But I'll just touch base on a couple of key important sessions there. So of course, we completed 4 weeks, 4 days of workshops and tutorials from 7th to 10th, and many of you have attended it. So thank you for joining those workshops and tutorials. We really appreciate for your presence there. And I hope you have learned something there that you can take it back and use it in your own organizations or studies, whatever you're doing. After this session today, we'll have a break, a short 30-minute break, and then we go into opening ceremony. In that, we have 2 keynotes. Really, the great topics you can have a look at on the program website. 2 diverse topics that the 2 keynotes from Japan will be talking about their presentations. And we have various technical sessions throughout the day. The first session today and the second session, the opening ceremony, is on its own. But after that, we have parallel sessions. So one will happen in this room and the other one will happen in the next room, the other side. So we have parallel technical sessions, and also we have special interest groups. These are community formed groups on various topics. We have a 30th anniversary panel to celebrate the 30th anniversary of APNIC. That's tomorrow. In this room here. We also have BOFs. You might wonder, what they are towards the end of the program. They are just topics that anything that community comes up or the secretariat comes up with that we feel that's important to discuss with the community. And you may have some comments and inputs into those topics as well. We also have elections to the NRONC that will open for members, but will open for conference attendees as well, and the election chair will come up and open that. So the NRONC, and we have SIG elections. These are all positions that nominated and elected by the community, not the APNIC Secretariat. And also, conference is all about great fun, right? So we have socials happening tonight, tomorrow night, and we have easy cocktail, and final day we have closing socials as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to mingle with each other, get to know the experts and get to know the speakers and make new friends here. And you can see the URL there. You can go to that URL to find more about what presentations we have lined up in each of those sessions. Morning tea will be from 11 to 11:30 in the outside in the foyer here. And the lunch today will be a big lunch. It's a special lunch today, the 30th anniversary lunch. It'll be from 1 o'clock to 2:30. We have 2 rooms for that. I'll talk about it more later in the next session, but we have 2 rooms because we're expecting quite a big, large crowd here. The afternoon tea will be from 4 to 4:30, and the socials will start at 7 o'clock, and we try to finish at 9 o'clock. The socials, the buses, we have buses. It's not in the same venue there. It's outside of this venue. So we have buses that will take you from this venue to the socials venue and bring it back here. Some buses will come back to the convention center, and some buses will go to the Kyoto station. So if you're staying in the city center somewhere, you can take those buses to go directly to your hotel. So that's all about program. And I put some screenshots, but it's probably not updated because we keep updating it. So have a look at it anyway. So now I would like to invite Sienna from our communications team, communications manager, to talk about how you can connect and network with each other.
Thank you, Sunny. Hello, everyone. I've already had 2 coffees, so I am ready to go. I'm going to talk to you about connecting and networking in the non-technical sense, which is actually a really important part of being here. There's a truth universally acknowledged that we're talking about bits and bytes and packets and wires, but the real connections are actually made by humans. So please consider some of the ways that you can connect. They include some of the more diverse and humanistic sessions. I've got 3 here. The Next Gen Careers BOF, which is chaired by the wonderful David at the back there. Hello, David. From ICANN. He does a brilliant job in discussing with some great new starters and people well known in the community, how they got their start, how they overcome challenges, a whole range of different things. Then we've got the 30th anniversary panel tomorrow. Now, if you ever wanted to see some of the people who were there and influenced the inception of the internet, this is your chance to see it. People like Elise Garrick, David Conrad, Jun Marai will all be there talking about what it was like to start the internet in the Asia Pacific. A pretty extraordinary opportunity to see them. Then we've got the Inclusion and Diversity panel tomorrow evening. Now, I know this is the graveyard shift, but I'm going to tell you, come along. Partially because I'm the chair, but also because we're going to hear from some brilliant speakers actually talking about age discrimination, which is an area that we don't really talk about much in our community because we're a relatively young community, but it's something that's actually really important to think about how we take the expertise of the people who've been around for 30 plus years and we learn from them, and vice versa, how people who are more senior in their roles can open up and learn from people who are just starting out. Whoops. So I'm also going to talk briefly about Orbit. So how many people here today have heard of or use mailing lists? Yeah, a couple of hands there. Okay, so a little while ago, APNIC took on a bit of a challenge to take mailing lists, as they have been supporting the community for many, many years, and bring them into a much more attractive, easily usable web interface, as well as keeping the traditional mailing lists. And so we have Orbit. Orbit's been around actually only since early this year. It is a reskinned and hyped up mailing list. And I really do encourage everyone to go and have a look. So if you do want to, this is a really good way of continuing engagement with the community when we're not meeting face-to-face or around a conference or a workshop. Big discussions happen on Orbit. You can go and follow a bunch of mailing lists, and I would suggest APNIC Talk and APNIC Announce just to start with, and you will be able to see the actual discussions that are really formulating how we go forward. There's also policy mailing lists, diversity mailing lists, a whole range of different things according to your interests. So please go and explore. Now the really fun stuff. So one great way of continuing to connect and enhancing your connection at conferences is to follow us on social media and share on social media. And I will also say, oh, this is an old one. We've got a competition, a social media competition running this conference, and it is very exciting because it is our 30th anniversary. If you take a selfie and you do this, which looks like 30, and you tag hashtag APNIC 30th, so APNIC 30th, you will go into the draw to win one of 2 gift cards worth US $150. And that's just for online, in-person participants. Online participants can get other stuff as well. But I really do encourage you to do that. Yeah, so use social media, follow us on all of our platforms and interact with us. We're real people behind the computers. And then I think Carla mentioned the APNIC blog. If you don't follow the APNIC blog already, I would really encourage you to. It's become, hey, I can see someone take your selfie. Excellent. A really amazing place where we have a large number of guest posts from some of the absolute experts globally. We have how-tos, we have case studies. We delve into all internet operations kind of things, security, V6, a whole range of different things. So please do follow us. And then we've also got a podcast, which is also relatively new. It's called Ping. All this can be found through the APNIC website or just Googling it. Ping really focuses in on internet measurement. And it is hosted by George Michelson, who many of you know. He's one of our scientists. And it comes out every 2 weeks. And once a month, Jeff Houston is our guest of honor. And we know he can talk. And he can talk very well. So it's an incredibly entertaining podcast, actually. And generally, if you're posting on social media, please also use the APNIC 56 hashtag, because then we can connect with you and follow you and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to be I'm not even Gen Z. I'm millennial. I don't know what I am. But I'm going to take a photo of us, a selfie now. And if everyone can do the 30th, and then I can post it on the APNIC channel. Is that all right? I feel like Archie now. There we go. I can see every one of your faces. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sienna. We also have a mailing list that we created a few years back. It's called APAC Women in ICT. There's a stickers on the registration desk. You can see that one. This is for the women, but it's open for others to join as well, to discuss about the career opportunities for women and the educational opportunities as well. Okay, so now we go into a policy development process, and you have what, 3 minutes?
3 minutes?
No,
Oh,
kidding.
geez. Thanks, Sunny. So hi, everyone. My name is George Udagi. Welcome to Kyoto. I work in the APNIC services team, and I also provide support to the policy process at APNIC. Today, I'll be talking about what the policy development process is, why it's important, and how you can get involved. So firstly, what is a policy? So in our region, a policy refers to the rules or criteria that an organization must meet in order to be eligible to receive IP addresses or AS numbers from APNIC. We call this the Internet Number Resource Policies document, which you can find on our website. And then a policy proposal, on the other hand, is a formal written submission that outlines a policy change. So usually this needs to be submitted online, and it needs to detail information about what the problem statement is, what the objective of the policy change is, how it will affect the community, the other situations in the other RARs, and so on. So generally those proposals will be discussed at the conference and before. And when that policy proposal reaches consensus, then it would become successful and become a new policy. So why are they so important and why do we need policies? So firstly, IP addresses and AS numbers are public shared resources. And with the near exhaustion of IPv4 addresses, we need to ensure that these resources are managed and distributed in a fairly manner to organizations who have a legitimate need for them. So the common spirit of the policy is to ensure that they are used properly according to our policies and that they justify the technical needs and operational needs of the network. We think this is vital for the continued and stable and safe growth of the internet. So what's APNIC's role in all of this? So the Secretariat is the organization that manages and distributes the resources. We also implement the policies when they reach consensus. And we also provide a range of services to the community, which includes the APNIC membership, as well as the NIR members. So our staff will provide information and support to anyone who wants to get involved in the policy development process. We also provide support to the policy SIG, including the chairs, the co-chairs, the SIG sessions, as well as the mailing list. We can help authors with writing draft proposals if they need that help. And when the policy goes through, we'll manage the implementation and inform the community of any of the changes that will occur. So who can participate? Anyone in the community can participate. And whether you're a network engineer, a student, cybersecurity expert, or just a general user of the internet, we're inviting you here today to be part of the process. And because these policies are developed by and for the Asia Pacific internet community and for the needs of our community. So as I was saying before, the policy discussions are generally happening in the special interest group, and it's at the OPM on Thursday. And this special interest group is an open forum for the internet community to come together and discuss certain topics of interest. So at our conferences, we have 4 special interest groups. We've got the policy SIG, the cooperation SIG, NIR SIG, and routing security SIG. There's no entry requirements to participate, and we invite everyone to join. One important thing to remember here is that you don't just join, but you need to participate, or we encourage people to participate. And the first step to do that is to subscribe to one of the SIG mailing lists. So the APNIC policy SIG has a co-chair and 2 co-chairs. They're members that are elected by the APNIC community, and they serve a 2-year term. We've got the chair, Bertrand Cherry, here, if you don't mind. Yep. And so he's our chair. If you have any questions related to any of the policies, feel free to talk to the chair or one of the co-chairs. And then the Secretariat support is myself and Sunny. We provide support to them. So the APNIC policies are developed by the community in a bottom-up approach. And this framework is what we refer to as the PDP in short. And this PDP process describes the process from when the policy proposals are submitted through the discussion phase and when they're adopted by APNIC. So there's 3 main characteristics to the policy process. Firstly, it's open, so anyone in the community can participate and they can be involved in the discussion or the decision-making process. Secondly, it's transparent, so all our documents, policy discussions and decisions are transparent and are published on our website and archived as well. Lastly, it's a bottom-up process, so it's driven completely by the internet community, by the people who need and use those resources. And APNIC has to stay neutral in the whole process. So this is a visual representation of the policy development process lifecycle. I won't go too much into detail, but basically the way it works is 4 weeks before the conference, or at least 4 weeks before the conference, someone who wants to submit a policy change would submit a policy proposal. And then the SIG chair would make sure that it fits with the scope of the SIG charter. And then it would be published on the mailing list for discussion. During the conference, the author would present it in the session. And if consensus is reached and is maintained after the annual member meeting, it would be pushed to the mailing list for a final comment period. And then at which phase, if consensus is confirmed, it would be pushed to the APNIC EC for endorsement. And then after that, APNIC would implement those policies. So the OPM is the session on Thursdays. There's 2 sessions where 5 policy proposals will be discussed. some controversial, exciting policies there. So I recommend you attend. So this is organized by the Policy SIG. And as I mentioned before, the author will present it, when afterwards people will have opportunities to come up to the microphone, ask questions, express their support or objections, and then you can kind of debate about whether you like the proposal or not. Remote participation is also available for people who aren't here, as well as in person. So the consensus decision-making process. So at the end of the session in the OPM, the chairs will do what's called a consensus call. And what this means is they'll see if there is general agreement in the room about whether there's support or objection. And they'll also take into consideration the comments that were raised in the mailing list prior to the meeting, as well as at the meeting and after the meeting. And they'll look out for, if there are any objections, they'll look out for minor and major objections. So if there's a minor objections, it means that there's some small problems for some members of the community, but usually it means that they can be rectified by a small change in the policy text. But if there is a major objection, it means that a lot of the members in our community will be affected. And usually this needs to go back to the author for further clarification or changes. And generally the way that it works is that participants should work together to resolve any objections and come to kind of an agreement so that consensus can be reached. So chairs will consider the mailing list discussions as well as the discussions at the SIG, including the remote participants. They'll do a consensus call where it will be a show of hands. But just important note here is that it's not voting, it's more about gauging opinions. So a term that I use is more like feeling the temperature in the room is what we call consensus. And we also have an online consensus tool called Confer for remote participants who aren't here and want to show their support or objection for the proposal. So what's next? Firstly, the best thing to do is to participate in the OPM on Thursday. But next thing you can do is subscribe to the mailing list, read some of the discussions, and also go to our website and read the 5 policy proposals for discussion. And during your morning tea, afternoon tea breaks, if it's always good to have a chat to other people about what you think. So you, and kind of socialize and talk about the proposals. That's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Odagi. Yeah, you kept it on time. As Odagi said, we both support the SIG chairs and the policy development process in the APNIC region. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us about the proposal that's been discussed here, or you can approach the chair and co-chairs as well. Now, the next one is Ninja Tafida. She is actually a returning fellow of APNIC and also a mentor for the fellows this year. And she'd like to cover some tips for slaying a conference while you are here at these 3 days.
Yes, finally.
Use the big one.
Now I'm tall. Okay. So first of all, good morning, everyone. So today we have a pleasure of welcoming a group of new faces and talents into our APNIC community. It is a momentous occasion as we expand our family and embrace new perspectives, ideas, and experiences. You are not simply joining in an organization. You are being part of the community. We believe in the power of collaboration, innovation, and growth. And we are thrilled to have you on board. Let me breathe. I'm shaking here. Sorry. So without further ado, let's get started on tips on how you slay in the conference. Oops. So we have 4 items in the checklist on how you slay in the conference. So we have plan connection, create itinerary, network goal settings, and leveraging a social media. We will further discuss these items on the next slides. So these are Starting with how we will plan our connection. Here are the recommended questions, guidelines on how you will start up a network. First question is, who would you like to connect with or learn with? There are hundreds of participants registered in this APNIC conference, and they are all listed down in the APNIC website under the register tab. So hopefully you all check that, and then look into it to that, and list and find people whom you can learn and share interests. Next question is how you will connect with them. You may connect with these people through our mailing list. That's what other speaker said. Or you may follow up them in their SNS account or in social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You should update your SNS accounts for that. Particularly the LinkedIn account, which you can use as your virtual business card if you don't have the traditional one. So what are your objectives in connecting with them? What is your objective, goal, or reason you want to connect with these people? Do you want to connect with them to get their perspectives, viewpoint, or advice on a specific projects, research, or business case? You must define your goal in connecting with these people. And lastly, prepare and focus on your speech of your goals. Create a pitch once you determine your goals. On your target audience or people. A pitch that focus on your goal. Begin with 2 or 3 sentences. And if you feel that your target network people is interested, just continue what you want to say with them. So next on the checklist, oops, I clicked the wrong button. Green one, this one. Okay, getting back. So next on the checklist is you create your itinerary in the conference. So in this conference, we have 3 days conference and the sessions are scheduled back to back. It can be done in parallel or sequentially. So attend the sessions that you truly interest with. This is to avoid information overload. Also, be familiar with the conference venue and assign hosts of the session. This is to avoid getting lost in the venue because our venue is massive and I think I lost many times here. So don't be like me. Just be familiar on the hosts, the sessions of the sessions. Along with the itinerary, have an active recollection. It is the way you check in with yourself. It's like having a break or breathing in and out. Let's say checking in yourself if you are hungry. Are you feeling dizzy? Can you still go on? Do you want to refresh? Use this time to breathe in and breathe out and recalibrate yourself before getting back in the engagement. And then next on the checklist is network goal settings. Oopsie. No. Yep. So in network goal settings, these are the guidelines for how you set up your network. So I suggest establishing a network step by step, beginning with 1 or 2 people. And finding out more with them. Then build a meaningful connection by creating a genuine, an active listener and has a positive attitude and respecting one another. Also, most of the time, the connections are start with through casual conversation during the break times. And also ask smart question. It can be a confirmatory or add depth and context to the question. Smart question pique curiosity, encourage exploration, and contribute to a more insightful and engaging concern. Next on the checklist is leveraging social media, which is also discussed by Shena. So let's maximize the use of social medias by using the hashtag of the conference, hashtag APNIC56. And I think there's additional hashtag, which is, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's a hashtag APNIC30 yet. Oops. And then also post about what's going on the conference. Include your key takeaways and keynotes on every sessions. And then reach out to new connections afterwards. So your networking will not end up here in the conference. You can continue it after the conference. You can follow up that's the reason why you're following it down. And then of course your also post your experiences in the conference and other things in our Orbit mailing list. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ninja. Please give us a round of applause, a big applause, please. She did really wonderful. As you see, we do encourage our fellows to come up and speak in our conference. Whatever they wish to speak and present, we do allow that. And we do have some room in our program for them to submit and give a presentation. It's a great experience that they achieve here. It's not easy, not talking to 100 people sitting in front of them, but she did a wonderful job. Thank you, Ninja, so much. And we'll invite her back again next conference. So as I said, we have a small game and we have gifts as well to give it to the winners. So this is the game of what you just listened to all the speakers and the information that we published on the website and conference website as well. What you need to play the game, either a laptop or mobile device, with the game pin will come up on the screen. Oh, it's already there, 168144. So you go to kahoot.it and you enter the pin and name. Please use your first name and then we'll start as soon as we have a good number of participants joining the game. I'm just roughly counting that we have around maybe 80, 90 in the room. So once we reach around 70, we'll start the game. You may miss out a couple of questions in the beginning, but you can still join as well. Okay, anyone still joining? I got 70 in there, okay. 2 more minutes. You go to kahoot.it and you enter the PIN number and then name. Shall we start? You got 87 up there. Any difficulties? Network issues? We don't have network issues, touch wood. Okay, sorry, but I need to start. We had to wrap up this 10:30 to go into the break. So it's good, there's more joining. Can we hit 100? That really shows that we have 100 people in the room here for this session. Okay, we might start. Thank you, Jensen, please. Okay. So this is all about newcomer session. So it's all for the newcomers, but the others can join as well. What is not included in the APNIC vision? I'm not going to read the options there. You will see on the screen up here as well as on your device. You select the right one. And you have 9 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3 seconds to go. A controlled and global internet is not part of the APNIC or any RAS vision and mission. Okay, we do not control the internet, definitely not. Okay, it's very much open for everyone to join and participate. Okay, next one, please. So we got Ashraf, Chris, and Jan Jacob on the top 3 positions for the first question. And this one will have double points. What services does APNIC not provide? The question is, what services does APNIC not provide? Exactly, but 30 of them got reverse DNS because Carla didn't talk about reverse DNS. But definitely, we are not a domain authority. We do not provide domain names. We are an internet registry. We provide IP numbers that includes IPv4, IPv6 autonomous system numbers. And reverse DNS is we provide for the numbers to reverse map the domain names, but not domain names. Okay, next one, please. And we'll see the leaderboard. Oh, I should have gone out of the leaderboard. We got new Chris and Ninja are doing very well, Ninja. And Bertrand, I may have to exclude him. When was APNIC founded in Japan to manage IP resources? This is all about 30th anniversary of Japan. We have a lot of information published. If you don't know, that's okay. You will know now. In 1993. And you will know more about 30th anniversary, tomorrow in the panel, as well as today at the lunchtime. The leadership board, Chris Gomez, then Dinesh, Bertrand, and Matthew. And Ninja, I'll replace you with Bertrand, okay? if you stay there. Next one, please. APNIC serves the entire Asia-Pacific region, which includes how many economies? This was up on the slide there when Carla was presenting. I'm expecting everyone get right answer, all of you. Unless you walked in later after Carla finished the presentation. Excellent, 60 of you got it right. 22 of you got what? 52, no, we serve 56 economies. That's including South Asia, Southeast Asia, Oceania, and East Asia. Altogether 56. Leaderboard, please. Bertrand is leading. Matthew, Mauritania. Good to see you here, Mauritania. She was a fellow alumni of APNIC. Next question. We have 6 to go. How many executive council members can be elected to the APNIC board in total? And you probably have met some of them during the workshop week or here this morning. If not, you will meet them today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow as well. This may be a tricky question for some of you. Yeah, I'm not expecting the right answer from everyone, to be honest. But we have 7 community elected board members that serves the board of APNIC. At least you know the answer now. Next one, please. Bertrand, I don't know who is 80 and JJ, but they are the top 3 now. Next question, please. Let's run it quickly. In what year did APNIC relocate from Japan to Brisbane, Australia? So that was 1993, right? It was found in Japan. In what year it moved to Australia? Because we are not in Japan anymore. We are in Australia from Brisbane. 1998 it was. So this is fun, right? You're learning something new and you know something, right? And so you're preparing for tomorrow's 30th anniversary panel, okay? Adi, Lashmana, Drew, Bertrand. Okay, Bertrand is still, you got to get him out of there. You know, he's a sick chair. He's been attending conferences for many years. Okay, next one, please. What is the meaning of bottom-up policy development process? That was George Odagi presented. Two seconds. It's driven by the community, not by the secretariat, not by the executive council, not by the authors who are proposing the proposals, but everyone else, and definitely not the governments. They're part of the stakeholder group. They can come and join, they can have a voice as well, but they're not driving the proposals at APNIC or any RIRs. That's good. Matthew is there and Bertrand slipping down slowly, purposely, or he's taking it easy. Okay, 3 more questions to go. Who can participate in policy discussions? I'm waiting to see how many will select the blue color. None. Excellent. Wow, fantastic. Only APNIC members? No, APNIC members are part of that community as well. So anyone can participate. That means APNIC members, governments, anyone. You all can participate as well. Excellent. No one selected the blue color. It's the same leaderboard. Good, good. We have 2 more questions to come. Where was the first APNIC 1 conference held? This is quite challenging, but you'll learn. Okay, we are at APNIC 56 conference now. Where was the first one held? Fastest finger first. It was in Bangkok, Thailand. Tokyo, Japan. Oh, is it because you're all here? Can't believe that. We are not doing this conference here because we did our first conference here, but APNIC started from here in Japan. That's why we came back to celebrate here. Definitely not the first conference. It was in Bangkok, Thailand. Okay, last question. Fastest fingers first. Let's see who will be winning these gifts we have here. Double points. How many policy proposals will be discussed at this conference? All. There is no answer. All. If you're listening to George Odagis, No, it's 5. I think we made a mistake there. It's actually 5. I just looking at my colleague, no. Sorry, that's 5 because one proposal got submitted a bit later, so we couldn't, we didn't change the Kahoot. I do apologize for that, but let's pick the winners and let's look at the leaderboard. Tung Sung EU, 3rd place. Lofali. I hope I'm saying the name right. And who is number 1? Stefan. What's going on? They were not even on the leaderboard at all. How did they manage to get up? But that's apologies for that last question. That really we should have checked it. So Stefan Lefoli, could you please come forward? And Sung Yu, please come forward here. Thank you. Carla, may I invite you to hand over the gifts, please, to the winners? Those ones, yeah. Did I say your name right? Lefali? Lefali. Now we'll take a group photo. Stay here. All right. While they're receiving their gifts, I also have something else here, but I will throw it over to you, and whoever catches it will get it. Did you? Okay. 1, 2, 3. No one got it. Okay, that's yours. Thank you. I got 2 more. Which direction? Which direction? Oh! Yeah, go ahead. I think we didn't go that. Maybe you go there. No, you go there. Oh, it landed on the table. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for participating. Can we take a group photo? Where's the cameraman gone? Please. You go, Carla. No, get in, Carla, please. No, I don't need it. Thank you. So excellent. We finished way before the time, and we have 3 more minutes left. So I'll open the floor for any questions. Feel free to come up to the microphones there. You can ask me or my colleagues here. We have 3 more minutes before we go to the break. And thank you for joining the Kahoot game. I hope you enjoyed it. You learned something new. And also congratulations to all those winners as well. I still can't believe, they came up, I didn't see them on the leaderboard. So any questions or anything you want to share, your experience here this morning, any difficulties you faced? Nothing? Looking forward to the break? Yeah? Okay, thank you so much. And once again, welcome to APNIC 56. We will take a short 30 minutes break, which will be in the foyer area. And please come back to this room here. For the next session, it will be the opening ceremony and keynotes will be held in this room, not the other room. The other room will open up after the lunch. So please enjoy your break. And remember to network with each other and also take selfies, 30th anniversary, and post it. We have more prizes during the conference. Thank you so much.